Hi, everybody, it's Hunter
And Joe.
here from Two Old Men at Heart. We're going to talk about going to the cruise port. When we cruise we're actually on the way there now. When
Yes,
we
currently
cruise,
driving.
Joe's driving. When we cruise out of the Caribbean, we always drive down to the port. So we live in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and so it's not that far. It's about an 8-hour drive to Port Canaveral, which is the Orlando cruise port, or the Orlando area cruise port. It's not really near Orlando.
No, it's not. We've sailed out of there a handful of times on Carnival, and that's a trip that we will do usually overnight. We'll leave in the wee hours of the morning uh, on our embarkation day and drive straight through down to Port Canaveral.
We don't recommend doing that. That's not a very safe thing to do. If you were to have any type of car trouble, you would be in big trouble making it
Yes.
to the port on time. But yes, we leave when it's dark and early. Usually around 4 a.m. I think is when we go to Port Canaveral. We
A
leave
little,
around,
probably closer to 3. It's
okay,
been a while since we've done that.
and we take all those dark hours of the morning, and then we stop for breakfast, and then we drive straight to the port,
To the port.
and then we
Or-
don't eat again until we get on the ship. And so that is something we do when we go to Port Canaveral. But this cruise, we're going to Port Everglades, which is the Fort Lauderdale port. And when we go to Port Miami, we have a whole routine of
Yes,
how it
we are.
goes.
We love our routines. We are very routine people.
We're regimented.
Yes, we are.
And so we go down to Port Everglades or Port Miami. We break that up. So we stop overnight somewhere, and then we continue on. So we left yesterday a little bit earlier than normal because I do have a day job, and so I was actually working. I have a place that I do some work for in St. Augustine, so I stopped there to do some work as we were driving down
Yes.
through. And so we left around 4 o'clock yesterday. No, we got up at 4 o'clock yesterday morning. We left at 5. We left Myrtle Beach at
Yes.
5 in the morning. Actually, it was like 5:20 or so.
5:20.
We were driving. We hit I-95.
Stopped and had
And
breakfast.
we stopped and had breakfast, and then we continued going, and then we stopped and had lunch at a restaurant right beside where I work in where I have worked in St. Augustine. Had lunch there, went and did some work for an hour and a half ish, and then we left there, continued on, and we always stay in the same hotel when we're coming down this way, and we stay overnight. We stay at one of the hotels in Port St. Lucie. So we chose Port St. Lucie because, first of all, the hotels there are very nicely priced, and
Yes, much cheaper
they're-
than being in Fort Lauderdale
Yeah.
or Miami.
and they're right off the interstate. So as we're driving, we can just go right
Hop
over
off
there,
the exit and you're right at
and
your
you're right
hotel.
at the hotel.
And it's a good distance. It's about a 10-hour, a little bit more, 10 and a half hour drive with our stops for breakfast and lunch from the house down to Port St. Lucie. So that's a nice full day of driving, but it's not killing us. And then we're close enough to Port Everglades, Port Miami, to get up and, as we're doing right now, drive that last hour and a half to 2 hours down the morning of into the port.
So we get to our hotel the evening before, and then we always go to Texas Roadhouse. That's just somewhere we enjoy having dinner. So we always go to Texas Roadhouse. It's right. We walk to it from the hotel that we stay at. And then the next morning we get up. Of course, they have free breakfast. So breakfast, and then you actually went to the gym this morning.
Yes,
at the hotel.
I ran this morning. Something I've attempted to get back into.
Yeah. So you ran, and then we got showered. We went and had breakfast. Went back to the room, got all cleaned up, and got in the car. And guess what? We forgot something. So now we have to stop at a Walmart so we can get a stapler. Because guess what we forgot? We forgot to put our luggage tags on our luggage. So we need a stapler. Normally,
And that was after making a video before we came down saying, do this. We did.
no, we didn't. Normally, what we'll do is, at the hotel, we'll stop at the front desk and say, "Hey, can we borrow your stapler?" And we put our luggage tags on at the hotel before we leave to come down the rest of the way. So now we're on our way to Port Everglades to get on the Eurodam. I'm very excited.
Yes.
And we're going to park at the port today. So instead of doing one of the park and drives or park and ride, whatever they're called, we're going to be parking at the port, and we're ready for our cruise.
We're ready for our cruise.
Except we don't have a stapler, so now we have to stop.
We have a pit stop to make.
So I put in the GPS. We should be there in about probably 10 more minutes now. So all right, thanks for checking in with us. Have a great day.